Hello again, everyone. It's Nick Skillicorn here from Idea to Value. Welcome to all the value drivers out there joining me today again. And as you can see from the title of this video, what I'm going to be talking about today is how to achieve your New Year's resolutions, the scientifically backed way to actually make sure you go through with whatever you've set yourself out to do. Now, this is something that is really important for entrepreneurs, for innovators, and for creative people, because there's a tendency to always strive for all of the things that you're going to achieve this year. But unfortunately, statistically, I looked up how many New Year's resolutions actually fail. And approximately 90% of New Year's resolutions don't make it the first couple of months. I think 80% fail after the first month, and only about 9.2% of New Year's resolutions actually stick through it throughout the entire year. So I'm going to be going through why that is, but what I want to hear from you right now is, I'm filming this video in early January. Just leave a comment below this video, letting me know what your New Year's resolutions actually are. Because I'm interested to see what sort of New Year's resolutions you have, whether or not that's about a creative endeavor, writing more, producing music, whatever it might be, whether or not it's something to do with your health, whether or not it's something to do with your business, about trying new innovations and trying new things. Just let me know. I'm really interested to know. And also make sure if you want to get all of the best insights on innovation and creativity, don't forget to always go over to ideatovalue.com and sign up for our newsletter and our membership there. It's the best on the internet. But the topic at hand today is motivation, and it's about New Year's resolutions. So the reason why I'm talking about this today, it's actually a funny story. I just got back a while back from a yoga session that I go to with my fiance. And prior to December, we go quite frequently. She goes a bit more than I do, but I go at least once a week. And the room in which we do the yoga usually has about 15, maybe 18 people on a busy day. Now, today, when we went, the session before us in the same room had 46 people in it. And my fiance told me that the session she went to earlier in the week had 51 session attendees. Now, that's more than 3 times the average in the first week of January. And that's not really a coincidence. People set themselves New Year's resolutions about what they want to achieve and how they want to go about it. But very, very quickly within the first month, the vast majority of those fall apart. So how can you actually stick to the resolutions that you have? And it doesn't just need to be around New Year's. It can be any sort of ambition that you have. How can you set yourself the certain mindset and targets that are actually going to keep you going even when things go tough? So one thing that I found a couple of months ago is an article by James Clear, who I am a big fan of. You should all subscribe to his newsletter as well. And he talked about forming habits. And he quoted a very, very interesting scientific study by Sarah Milne and Shana Orbel from the British Journal, let me just get this right, the British Journal of Health Psychology. And they were trying to figure out, what does it take for people to actually stick with their stated ambitions? So what they did is they found people who wanted to exercise more. And they split those people into 3 different groups. There was 248 people in this study, which is a decent-sized scientific study. So it's quite an accurate study. And they, first of all, split the first group into just being the control group. So these are people who've stated that they want to exercise a bit more, and they're just going to go out and actually do a bit more exercise according to their own routine. The second group were told to also manage their own routine, but they were also told to read materials that the scientists had provided about the benefits of doing exercise, about how it can improve your cardiovascular health, how it can improve your overall well-being, and to really jot down what they're trying to get out of it. So this group was the motivation group. They were given materials to really motivate them to go and exercise more. But it's the third group that's really the most interesting one. These subjects received the same presentation as the second group, so they got the whole exercise is healthy spiel, but they were also asked to formulate a plan for when and where they were actually going to exercise over the following week. And they put it in the format of the following sentence: during the next week, I will partake in at least 20 minutes of vigorous exercise on date, at, time, in, place. And they each wrote it down in their own way. Now, the results of this study are really quite fascinating. For the first and the second groups, which are just the control group and the people who are motivated, the control group, 35%, which is just over a third of people, actually exercised at least once a week. So, I mean, that's not great. 35% it's less than half, and it's showing that nearly 2/3 of people who really wanted to exercise ended up not doing it. The really motivated group, 38% of them did it. I mean, that's hardly any difference whatsoever. But the third group, who actually said, I'm going to exercise in this way, at this time, on this date, in this place, guess how many of them exercised regularly at least once a week? 91%. That's more than twice as much. It's nearly 3 times as much in some ways. That shows the incredible difference of mindset to achieving your goals you actually get when you set yourself not just a target of what you want to achieve, but how you're going to do it as well. So it's an absolutely mind-blowing way of thinking about it. If you don't just say, I want to do this, but instead you set yourself a time and a place that you're going to essentially hold yourself accountable for on how you're going to do it, that's how you really stick with it long term. This is called intentional implementation, implementation's intention. And it's this intention that really justifies to yourself how you're going to achieve things. So broadly speaking, the format of creating an implementation intention is when situation X arises, I will perform response Y. So you can not just talk about exercise. I know the example is about exercise. It's the most well-known, well-cited study on the subject. But think of it in your own context. You might have a New Year's resolution, or depending on when you watch this video in the future, you might have other things that you're trying to achieve. Instead of just saying, I want to achieve this, and I'll figure out some way of doing it, instead, set yourself the target of saying, I will achieve this by doing this sort of thing at this regularity, at this time, in this place. And that really more than doubles your likelihood of achieving your stated ambitions. So this is really important for entrepreneurs. It's really important for people trying to develop new innovations. It's very important for creative people who quite often tell me how frustrated they are that they can't follow things through to the end. And it's a really interesting study that I wanted you guys to know about. So once again, thank you, James Clear, for letting me know about this study. And everyone who's watching, make sure you go to ideatovalue.com. You sign up for our membership. You're always going to get the best insights on the internet about innovation and creativity. And for following this video, again, if you didn't hear it at the beginning, just drop me a little comment below about what your actual resolutions are. And now that you've heard about how you're going to achieve them better, tell me how you're going to do it, by doing what action, at which time, in which place, how frequently. And that'll really help you yourself stick with that resolution more than twice as likely. So thank you very much for joining me, and I'll speak again with you soon. Don't forget, if you know someone who is also trying to achieve some goals, please share this video with them, like it, and subscribe. And yeah, please follow me so you always are getting the best videos on innovation and creativity, and sign up at ideatovalue.com. Thanks very much, and I'll see you again soon.
Thank you so much for listening. If you liked it, please like, share and subscribe, and leave me a comment about what you thought and what you'd like to see more about. If you want to take your creativity and innovation capabilities to the next level, then invest in yourself with the premium training only available at ideatovalue.com. These exclusive training modules have all been put together by me, Nick Skillicorn, and have been used by thousands of artists, innovation leaders and CEOs to become better at understanding the source of their creativity and executing on their innovation ambitions. And there is no risk to you, as they are backed by our money-back guarantee. Now, don't forget to go out there and make your ideas a reality. See you again soon.